It is time again to check in, which is enabled by our friends at CR Legal Team. They have been providing whole person legal care since 1989. We are CR Legal Team, and we stand up for you. Hubert Davis is here with us. Coach, Tar Heels were out in California last week. I wanted to ask you about communication, which we know you want to be early, loud, clear, and constant.
Yes.
Because we have heard you say that before. When it is not during the flow of the game, whose responsibility is that to try to get those guys on the court to communicating in the way that is conducive to what you want to achieve?
Well, one, it's everyone's responsibility. On the court, all five guys need to know what's going on, what needs to be executed on both ends of the floor. So it's not a responsibility by just a captain or quote-unquote point guard. It's a responsibility of all five guys communicating, being responsive, and understanding that everybody's on the same page.
When you and I were talking, Coach, after the Cal game, you talked about really the first moment of true adversity this season on the floor for your team, this sequence. You've been through adversity every season. Every team goes through adversity every season. When you hit adversity, what becomes important? What needs to happen either from you, from your guys? Like what needs to happen next?
Well, I mean, I think when you hit a little bit of adversity throughout the year, I think you have to call it out. What is causing that adversity? I think that has to be called out and that has to be checked. And I think in those times, that's when you dive even deeper to just the basics, on both ends of the floor, execution, shot selection, setting solid legal screens, making the easy play, communicating more on defense, boxing out, defending without fouling, those type of things. And I think in those times, it gives you an opportunity to get back to the basics that have allowed you to be successful prior to the adversity that you're going through.
Coach, I wanted to ask you a non-basketball question about Mike Exton-Camper.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends.
A lot of Tar Heels, I think, know who he is, and then there's a lot of Tar Heels who do not know who he is, but has had a huge impact on campus and through a lot of student-athletes through their time at Carolina. He passed away last week, and just wanted to get your thoughts on what he has meant to you and what he has meant to Carolina.
Well, I mean, that's hard to put into words. I don't think it's possible to be able to do that. Mike was one of my best friends. I met him in 1990. At the time, I was going to Chapel Hill Bible Church. I didn't know Mike at all. I left one of the services in the morning, and he boldly came up to me, introduced himself, and said, "I'm Mike Exton-Camper. I work for Athletes in Action." And he says, "I just wanted to reach out and introduce myself and wanted to know if you like to meet up and talk." And I was in the parking lot leaving the church service, and I started crying. And I said, "I'll meet you on campus." This stranger, "I'll meet you on campus the next day." And we met in the pit. We ended up finding a quiet place in Lenore Hall, and we sat there. It was in between classes, and we were there for over an hour. And at that time, I was really struggling. My mother had passed away my junior year in high school, and those 2 years in high school and those first 2 years at Carolina, I was really searching for answers, searching for comfort, peace, everything. And that's when Mike and I started talking. He started talking to me about Jesus, and he led me to Christ. And so I've been a Christian since 1990. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And we've been best friends since. He's not only been close, that impactful to me, but he's been impactful to my family. His wife, Kim Exton-Camper, we've been friends since we were in school, close friends with my wife, Leslie, with Elijah, Gracie, and Micah. And what he's done for Athletes in Action, there's a number of Christian organizations on campus. All of them do a wonderful service, providing for each one of our students that decide to be a part of these organizations. And one cool thing about Athletes in Action is it's like all athletes. Like it's, not just basketball players. There's lacrosse players. There's women tennis players. And it's great to be able to fellowship with each other because we're all going through the same things and trying to be the best that we can be on the court, off the court, and in the classroom, and doing it in a way where it honors and glorifies Christ. And, one of the things that you want at the end of your life, you would love to get a well done. And I know Mike got a great done, not a well done. It's a devastating loss. I haven't really had much time to process it, but it absolutely breaks my heart for him, for Kim, his wife, and his 4 children who are grown and have families of their own.
Coach, just one more thing, and then we'll go. You have a very high-profile and stressful job, but you also have very real-life things like this that happen, just like happened to so many people. How do you try and compartmentalize those things, I guess, or not allow something like this, which would very understandably affect your day-to-day, but try not to let it affect your day-to-day?
Well, maybe unfortunately, fortunately, I've had to do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I told you before, I lost my mom 2 days before my junior year of high school, and I learned to compartmentalize then. I didn't go to my mom's funeral. Growing up, I told her I was going to go to Carolina. I was going to play in the NBA, and that I was going to make so much money that when all of us pass away, they're not going to put us in the ground. They're going to put us above the ground. And she just started laughing, and I didn't want to see her go in the ground. And so I told my dad, I said, I'm not going to Mom's funeral. So I stayed with people. I guess some people don't know. I played football throughout high school. Mm-hmm. And so if I wasn't 155 my freshman year of college, I think I would have tried to play both. Mm. I absolutely loved it. I got recruited by Carolina. And so, Todd Burnett was my high school quarterback, ended up being the starter here. And so I stayed with my football coach that week while my dad buried my mom in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I played a football game that Friday. And so even at 16, I guess survival mode, you just learn to compartmentalize. And so with the loss of Mike, but also understanding I have a job and responsibility to help these kids out here be the best that they can be, and I'm the head coach in North Carolina, there's things that I have to do, irregardless of what's going on in my life.
Jen said last thing, but I think we might have lied. Mike taking that chance to come up and talk to you, a complete stranger.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's changed the way that you try to interact with people, and specifically college-age, your players or any college-age student-athlete today.
Yeah, I mean, just the boldness to be able to do that. I don't know what prompted him or gave him the confidence. I don't think I'm a hard person to approach, so I think that would be easy. But it really highlights a simple hello, a simple introduction. What can that do? And so for whatever reason, he was bold enough to come up and introduce himself. And because of that, I benefited of having one of my best friends for over 30-something years, and somebody that absolutely changed my life.
All right. Thanks for being here, Coach. Great to see you as always.
It's good to see you.
And we'll see Coach and the Tar Heels back on the floor Wednesday night. They'll host Notre Dame here in the Smith Center at 7 o'clock. But for now, that's Checking In with head coach Hubert Davis, brought to you by CR Legal Team.